Today is October 17th, 2022. Apologize for the long delay in the next vlog here. A lot of real life stuff going on. New job, trying to get that squared away. But anyway, all that aside, this vlog was about military AI. Now, before I start, could say war never changes. Every technology that can be used for war, and AI is no exception to that. To think that a peaceful solution is always going to happen would be naive. So while I personally am always for a peaceful solution over a violent one, the simple fact is it doesn't always work out that way. Not everyone's got to think like me in that regard. So with that being said, how do you prevent Skynet? Or a Skynet-like scenario where AI is out of control? Well, first thing you gotta do is understand what the military needs in general. First rule is there are no rules. Agreements like the Geneva Convention or the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Agreements pretty much are out the window the moment any country is cornered, because they will go to no ends to achieve their goals if they feel that they have no other option. It's the unfortunate truth. Those kind of things can do well when talking to the public about events to quell fears or to help diplomacy. But at the end of the day, sad truth is those are just words. And if someone is being spiteful or not wanting to submit and feel that they have no other choice, they potentially could release something like a out-of-control AI. And then we have another be just as bad as a complete nuclear holocaust. It's an unfortunate scenario that is, potential reality. I don't want it to happen, but so the fact is that it might. So there's some rules we could put in place, at least to start, at least hoping that they can't be overridden if it's programmed as low level as possible or hard coded into the AI itself. And it's really comes down to two straightforward rules. The AI would require a human to define an engagement zone over a time span. When you describe what that is. So, and when you're dealing with military and they have a threat that they need to take out or an engagement area they need to fight in, they will define a zone, and that area is going to be, the area of engagement. This is where combat would be happening. If the AI cannot set one of those up to unleash its ordnance or whatever it may be, then it could never shoot those weapons at that location. The second one would be it requires a human to confirm any engagement of a target. So let's say you have an engagement zone and it has a convoy of vehicles there. Until a human says, yes, shoot that vehicle, they're cleared to engage, it will not do anything to that vehicle. Of course, this involves human targets, whatever it may be. Fortunate scenario. Now, the thing is, these are stuff that current, at least, you might have seen some of this kind of stuff in the movie. I'm not sure exactly how accurate that is to inside the actual field of, when you're actually in a war scenario. But if the AI can at least require humans to unlock or be able to attack with its weapons, and that being a hard-coded thing, at least then we'd always have the one last check balance to make sure that it could not engage someone that we did not want them to engage with. Now, to really understand this, you got to understand the different theaters of war. So in this case, there's the five that we currently as humans interact with is the air, you got ground, sea, space, and digital. All of these theaters are very valid theaters, and frankly, any other rules to hinder the AI would in turn hinder the military from doing their job, which is to eliminate threats, whatever that threat may be. Who defines what the threats are and when to take those threats out? Those are all political decisions that should be done by humans anyway, which they currently are, obviously. But when you got a squad of soldiers on the ground, you may be able to release them into a certain engagement. But at the end of the day, who actually releases that squad, or to take out an objective? All that's done above them. All that's and that's where the AI should be, is in that low level area where it's more of a tool rather than critical thinking. Now, does it mean that you could have a situation where the AI, you say, here's your engagement area, and then you have a number of decisions to make sure that you're shooting or eliminating the right targets? That is absolutely an option. In fact, let's assume a perfect AI, for example. Obviously, perfect AI will never exist, but assume it has 100% omniscience, we can see everything, and then also being able to target certain structures for engagement. What you could do is you could have an actual human defining that engagement zone, just from a top-down perspective. And then you could eventually have every single time the AI detects a potential target, it gives that prompt to another person, and that human would say, should the AI engage that or not? But after that point, would they say yes or no? Then the AI would eliminate that threat in any way it sees fit. That could be the very minimal interaction that would be needed to make sure it stays under control. Because at that point, it cannot attack unless it has that go ahead. So unfortunately, this one is kind of a short one because, in all honesty, the rules of war are very limited. When you're dealing with civilian or law enforcement, it's there's a lot of things you got to take in consideration. In war, it's hell. So now, theoretically, you could have another AI making those decisions just as well as a human could, but at the end of the day, that final moral decision has to be left up to a human at that point, and that's just for the safety of everyone, to be honest. Now, problem is that how can you make everyone use those kind of rules when dealing with AI and warfare, military? It's kind of scary because you can't really enforce that. It's it's kind of like the whole nuclear arms race. You can't stop someone from can't stop everyone from shooting them off their nuclear arsenals at the same time, but that's why we have the whole situation we have with MAD and stuff. Anyway, that's well beyond what the AI discussion I'm trying to have here. But in short, this is a very scary topic because I could probably, think of many different ways you could have an AI, on a platform of some sort, and it just decimating things because of its, assuming it's programmed correctly, it could react faster. It could, be quieter, silenter. It could take so many different form factors that a human cannot. I mean, just think of all the current drones we have. What if they were a little bit smarter, and instead of just suiciding themselves into someone or into a target, it was mounted with, say, some kind of sniper rifle or other kind of ordnance that would easily be taken more closer to the field of battle. I mean, it's, again, a very scary concept. I mean, even the idea of a drone swarm where it just kind of goes into a location and, 500 something drones going around, you can't really stop them because they're so small and so many of them without, specialized weapons just for them. And even then, it's just, after all the research I've done on this, it can get very scary. And there's actually quite a few things that are very close to this already out there. And at some point we're going to have to make decisions on, these kind of rules. But, that's above my pay grade, I'll say. In any case, I'll try again in 2 weeks, see if I can get something another vlog up, and I'll see what other topics I can start addressing. Until then, be safe out there.